Hello, Fontshrine, and welcome back to the Eastern Front. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. We're gonna actually press the next turn button, believe it or not, and see how this winds up. Because as if we remember from last battle, things were quite thrown around, and I'm gonna have to make sure to get these HQs into a position where they can actually, try to resupply here a little bit. Um, we will see. We will see how well it goes. Let's press the button and see. Okay. So this was the real life position. Our position is obviously a bit better here. These dudes, I mean, we need to get them the hell out of here because look at that. I wonder how we could do that. So if we remember correctly, now these guys were the ones that were encircled in the dawn for I don't know how long, extremely long. And now they're weak because they were forced in one turn to go all the way from here to here, and well, it's some bullshit. That's all I have to say about that. And here as well, for some reason we can't attack towards here with this unit, which strikes me as extremely odd. But yeah, this one is our most valued unit, and they seem to be getting a bit of resupply here at least. Maybe. Yeah. But there's not a whole lot left for us here on the left side, honestly. It's this point we want really, like, to take, because that's a valuable point here in train. We might want to just force these guys back to retake the creek going along here. Yeah, anyway, I'll be the one that gets to look at all this boring stuff and get back to you guys when I'm done with that. Don't worry about it, by the way, you guys that like to see this, because in the next campaign you're gonna see a lot more of the operational map. But yeah, I'll have to study it a bit more to actually explain what's going on, because I don't know all the time myself. So anyway, I'll figure this out, guys, and I'll get back with you in a second. Okay, so here we are. Didn't manage to get these guys anywhere. If they're attacked, they're gonna have, I think, quite a lot of problems. I abandoned this position here for to use this company in the attack here to retake along the creek line here, as we can see. And I moved our OP company, whatever you want to call it, or here to retake Verilovka, as they were able to move 2 nodes and attack in that direction. So yeah, we'll see how this pans out. I was hoping that this tank wouldn't be involved, and also that this unit could attack towards here. I would really love to use the, like, 1.5 remaining tanks there that I have to strike out towards this juicy, like, supply and command units back here. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Let's try and retake, or not Verilovka, but the unnamed Farmstead here. Or what is it? Farmstead Nameless. So yeah, let's see what kind of battle boxes we get. Oh my god. KV1 tank brigade, or tank company, just resurrected here. Oops. That is gonna be scary. Hopefully they don't have a lot of tanks. But yeah, let's see here. This looks like what do you call it? An open goal for us. It's what it looks like, but you never know. So let's get into the battle and see. Okay, and here we are. It looks like slight fog still at 10 o'clock here, with a clear forecast. No, basically no wind at all to talk about. And yeah, we clearly have a advantage here in like staging area. They are really forced up to the bank of the river here, unless they want to deploy over here, and they also have a unit back here in this, like, I think it's out of bounds for me to even attack into here. So yeah, anyhow, Farmstead Nameless is at the top of the list today, and we have some scheduled support. Pretty cool. Unable to get a like, how do you say it, regimental commander into the battle, so that's why we get the scheduled support. But it is what it is. And 30 smoke rounds from this spotter. Now let's see how these tanks are doing. Not good at all, is what I would say. A few high explosive belts for the one Panzer II. And this one, yeah, a few high explosive belt there as well. And this one is immobilized. Can be used as a bunker though. And these poor guys are totally out of ammo. Very well. See, this platoon is doing kind of bad on ammo. So yeah, anyway. I'll try to figure this out. It is like this usually at the end, towards the end of the campaigns. You outrun your supply lines, and some units, well, they have to make do. Interesting though is if they're gonna wanna try and take Nestilova over here. We've already have had hard fighting here, and they might just, you know, make a grab for it. But hopefully our own push will be too violent for them to even think about it. So yeah, we will see. I'll get to setting everything up, guys, and get back to you guys when I'm done with that. Okay, so here we are, guys, and yeah, it is what it is. We have 615 men under our command in total, and you, for some reason, are not included there. How weird. Everyone but him. 616, as it were, in total. And yeah, the majority of them are clearly over here. And the main thinking here is that you can see these units back here. They are told to hold fire. These are our strong platoons, which will be the ones to take Farmstead Nameless, supported by 2 tanks that are in really poor condition, and by overwhelming fire coming from these also kind of weak platoons around here. However, we do have a good amount of machine guns. This MG is kind of out of ammo, but and so is this one. Ooh, I thought they would have a bit more ammo. Clearly not. Or we should be able to, and it's lagging like crazy for some reason. We should be able to make do. We do have some MGs, of course, that do have ammo, and some that are broken back here that hopefully still work good enough. I've put them back here, but if they do actually manage to work for us, I'm gonna put them up here. Anyway, these are the attacking platoons, which are blinking here. That means that they're told to hold fire. And let's see, yeah, we can see it, the company that is tasked with the attack. We have though some like things that are worrying me a bit here. It is that the enemy can deploy a whole battle group here, and I don't know what it is. It was a question marker on the operational map, so maybe we haven't encountered this one before, and it is a completely fresh battle group. And these guys are blinking here. These are platoons that have been in action for quite a while, and you can see their stamina is really low, so they're dog tired basically. But they're reinforced by this recon platoon, anti-tank gun platoon, and tank that is immobilized, but it has quite a nice amount of ammo, so it will be working as a pillbox. Hopefully it's not some tank company the Soviets have like brought out of their asses or something. But yeah, these dudes, let's see here, these dudes, Hofrichter might also work in our favor. Sights probably not. Hofrichter though is pretty healthy and could maybe perform some kind of attack. This platoon I think is also pretty good. Piper over here could work. Laub, of course not. And over here it's just a completely chaotic, you know, you guys that have seen the battles that occurred over here know what I'm talking about. You can see the remnants. This was extremely hard fought place, and yeah, nothing alive can exist here. We have some MGs watching over the Don River, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. And this spotter, he is a rifleman. It's like, you know what they say, every marine is a rifleman. Well, everyone in freaking northern Gnestilova is a rifleman at this point too. A lot of our fire though from this spotter is concentrated on Farmstead Nameless, along the trenches and stuff, and then 12 rounds of incendiary will strike the Farmstead, and that's basically when I know that, well, it's go time for the healthy platoons. We will see how this pans out. I think we're stronger than the Soviets, but I'm a bit worried about this here. I'm not that worried at all about this here, but yeah. We do have this loud platoon set up to provide enfiladating fire towards any Soviets that might want to try and sneak across. Should work in theory, but there's quite a bit of foliage in the way, so you never know. We will see though. Let's get this going. Okay. So, a bit foggy. Oh my god, it's really foggy, actually. But that is what it is. We can't do much about it. I have no orders to give. Let's start it up. Yeah, and these are gonna be the Oh, those are the grenade. What do you call it? Mortars. Mortars. But the MG34s seem to be in decent working order. They're at least not abandoning them. So let's get them moving. They don't need to be quick, but let's get them set up like around here. Where's Farmstead Nameless? You can see they're packing up and setting up. Oh well. I'm not seeing any green flares or green like smoke. What do you call it? Yeah, well, smoke signals. But that is probably due to the heavy fog. We're gonna see our first fire mission in the fog commencing now. So that is gonna be pretty cool. And the spotter is way out here in the open. There we go. So Farmstead Nameless is currently being shelled. However, this spotter needs to get into some cover here. He is not listening to me at all, is he? Interesting. Over here then. Yep, there we go. Nestilova is currently being shelled. However, not hitting the front line position. An enemy truck can be spotted out there. That is actually a good sign. This tells me that this might be a command unit or something worse. They're gonna get lit up by the Panzer II. Yeah. You see it like almost in a hull down position out there. Oh well, let's see if we get any other contacts. Nope. Nothing that is clear to me right now. Cool. Oh, there's way more trucks here. That looks to me like a supply unit, guys. If there's this many trucks and this few passengers, it is probably a regimental supply or a regimental HQ, which is really good for us, honestly. And we have a bunch of mortar spotters out here actually as well. And their cable guys are moving about trying to set up cables now. These guys are taking fire over here. I don't like this fog though, because that just means that the Soviets could, in theory, as they've done many times, shuffle personnel on the other side of the Don and use the out-of-map crossing back here to get in our rear. Thankfully, we don't have a lot here this time anyway, so... But yeah. It seems like these infantrymen might be getting a tally on the trucks as well now. I'm just curious. This is not what I'm worried about anymore. This looks like a regimental HQ, which is nothing to worry about as a combat unit on a tactical field. It's just a really happy thing that we got him, actually. Yeah. Either an extremely weak motorized unit, which I'm pretty sure it's not, or a regimental HQ. Anyway. Seems like we're being maybe targeted here by shelling as well. Yeah, they're targeting the crossroads. Not hitting our trenches, thankfully. So those guys that watch this series for a while now will recognize this position quite nicely. Should see some, if we just follow the road here, we should see ruined enemy tanks. That's what I'm trying to say. From and a lot of Soviet bodies. They took this position, but it was not for free. Let's just say that from the second episode of this campaign, I'm pretty sure. That time, they came with several platoons of tanks. This time, we're gonna hold the crossroads quite easily, I think. So that is nice. Anyway, I was gonna talk a little bit about what's coming here on the channel. First of all, I have a special, still now secret. I'm not gonna reveal everything, but it's a special video coming up pertaining to this DLC, partially, and you guys are gonna see when it comes. You're gonna figure it out when it comes. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but I've had a chance to get some really nice insight into the, well, one could say almost the development of the DLC. This one in particular, and another one as well, which I don't know if I'm saying too much. I'm gonna keep it secret. And yeah, the next playthrough that's actually gonna be here on the channel will be more of a, how do you say it, almost a tutorial of sorts. As I'm playing, I'm gonna be describing like quite clearly what I'm doing here, not just playing and without like saying what I'm doing. I'm gonna be super like every little thing, because it seems like, well, I could gather that a lot of people wanted, you know, a tutorial for the game and so on. I didn't want to make one. I made some. People still want more. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. But it's what people want, and well, yeah. I guess I'll do that. This is quite accurate fire here though from the Soviets. This is nice fire. But yeah. So I'm gonna make a playthrough, but the DLC, I don't know if I want to say it's been decided, but I want to play the unnamed DLC, which is a massive like clash between tanks. And we're gonna be playing as the Germans, of course. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of tanks everywhere. And yeah, I don't know. I want to play with tanks again after this infantry heavy DLC, or at least from my perspective, you know. The Soviets had a lot of tanks, but we didn't. So I want to play with some tanks, and that's what you guys are gonna get. I know someone actually, when I posted about this, and it got a lot of like positive feedback, this idea that we would actually be how do you say it, that this tutorial playthrough of sorts. It's not gonna be like your standard tutorial where everything is like compartmentalized. It's gonna be more like follow along as I play the game, you know, and learn as we go. But and it's always been like that, I think, with my channel, like a little bit. But it's gonna be way more like clearer in this playthrough. I'm gonna make more of an effort to actually, you know, really go in a bit into like a bit in depth with what I'm with what I'm doing on the screen, why I'm doing things, and how I'm doing things, and so on. So yeah, don't expect like a short like tutorial for the game, because it's gonna be a regular playthrough of a campaign, just with me explaining like what I'm doing. And I'm actually gonna have to like look a few things up, I think, to actually figure it out, because I don't know all of the mechanics of this game, which is one of the reasons I've held off on doing a tutorial, because like I don't think anyone knows all the mechanics of this game. I know a guy who is pretty close to knowing it, but yeah. That's about it. He is close to knowing everything. I think that's as much as you can ask, almost. But yeah, so it's gonna be the Dawn Bent DLC, and you know, if you wanna prepare for that, you can not shilling for freaking like gravity teams here, but like if you wanna play along with me, then you know which DLC to get. So like I'm guessing that could be useful for a new player, that you could just get the DLC that we're playing as and, you know, follow along, as it were. I'm really curious why these trucks haven't been eradicated at this point. Maybe they're in a defilade or something from our position. That one should be noticed by the tank. Yeah, look at that. I think the tank is gonna feast on him. I hope so. I can see the tank over there, so yeah. What is this Panther doing, actually? Well, an MG put an end to him. And we haven't seen any contacts here from Farmstead Nameless, which is a good sign, actually. Yeah, the artillery barrage is still ongoing, so I'll let it play out its course and then we march in. But yeah, so Dawn Ben DLC campaign tutorial playthrough of the whole campaign. Hope you guys are gonna like that. As I said, I posted about it, just like a little post here on YouTube that you can do, and a lot of you people really supported the idea, and that was really nice to see. You know, someone actually said a valid point. He was like, but you should play the base game, like, so people can, like, you know, you don't need to buy a DLC to follow along, and I understand that, like, completely. However, I have played like the big base campaign, which is, I think, would be the one suitable for such a thing, and it's really long and it's really big. It's a big map with a lot of units on it, which probably just complicates things, I think. And also, I've already played through it once, you know, so I'm not that interested in actually playing it again. You have to remember, like, I still, you know, as I've said many times, I record this stuff, like these videos, it's for me mainly. Like, I have fun doing this, and if someone wants to watch it, like, that's really cool, you know. I'm not saying I don't appreciate you people who watch, and, you know, it's really enjoyable to read people's comments, you know, and stuff, such things, like people who are supporting and so on. That is cool, obviously. Like, don't get me wrong, but firsthand, like, I post these, like, videos of this game that I really like. That's about it with this channel. It's grown into a bit more than that, almost, it feels like, because I don't think there's anyone that's actually, you know, posting Mius Front right now, or Gravity Team Tactics, like I'm doing it, like with commentary and stuff in English, and stuff like that. So, you know, and here they go. Look at this. I could see them. I saw them. They're being cut down now by the MG, but I definitely saw these dudes moving across here. Luckily we put up the MG position back here. Yeah, you can see it. Look at this little bastard. Look at him. I knew it. I knew they were gonna do some stuff like that. But yeah, I hope everyone's, like, as this campaign is coming to a close, like, I hope everyone's excited for what's coming next, you know. I have stuff going for you guys. It always feels nice to do that, and right now, you know, it's really fun, you know. When I started this campaign, I was really like, okay, this is gonna be a chance for all the new subscribers to hang along as we start another campaign, you know, for the ones that missed out on the last one and so on, because I would, if I was a viewer, I would really like to follow along as it goes, you know. I think so, at least, if I was, like, you know, dedicated, or whatever you want to call it, like a dedicated viewer. Me personally, though, when I watch people, I really want to have them, you know, I usually want people to have uploaded everything at once, you know, or like I could watch something that's like 4 years old, as long as all the episodes are there, because I hate waiting. I hate waiting, so I really want people to just, if I start watching something, I usually binge watch it, you know, so, but each to their own. Anyway, when I said that, when the new campaign was, or this campaign was beginning to upload, I think we had around 600 subscribers. Now we're almost at like 1600, so that goes to show, like, it was like 1,000 subscribers ago at this point. Which is really cool, like, don't get me wrong, but it's been so quick, you know. It's been such a quick like growth, or I don't know, maybe for some people, like, on YouTube, that is not quick at all, you know, that start out making, like, videos, they're like, oh, it's nothing. But for a guy like me that just posts this, you know, this stuff for fun and like without any real consideration for it. It's beyond like just like, oh, I think this will be cool, and I think this is something that people would like to watch, and blah 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 blah. You know, like this isn't my livelihood, as it were. I think this MG should be set up somewhere like here or something, if they can get here. Nope, actually, there we go. Those MGs are now starting to get into it. Should resolve any issues. I'm curious though what kind of MG this is. It's a DP, good. I think he got one of our guys. Yeah, this platoon. Anyone that's posted up here just gets mauled by the enemy. It's not a good position at all, I don't know. Let's send out the MG actually. Let's send him out. Quickly. Move over here, set up the MG here. I don't care. Oh. God damn it. Like so. Come on. There we go. There we go. A bit rusty playing the game. So, something that could be pretty cool to do here would be to lay a smoke barrage before we attack. And I'm gonna try that out with the mortars, I think. Yeah, not a lot of action going on here in the beginning, guys. Sorry if like that's boring to you, but you know, sometimes you never know what you're facing in this game. We could have had a frontal assault over there. We got this, you know, it is what it is. Maybe the enemy's held up over here, trying to desperately, you know, dig in and take defense as we're shelling them. But I don't know. Yeah. I think we could start advancing here in a bit. But first of all, I want to select all of my mortars here. Like so. And tell them to be on act with caution. Okay. And then we want to grab the spotter up here. Does he have a wire connection? Link is lost. This stamina is tired. Is that why he's not moving out? Because he should be moving. He says he's laying a wire link. Oh, these guys are getting over there, but they're tired, so they're moving extremely slowly. Okay. Let's check out this commander. Does he have a link? Nope. These guys aren't tired or anything. Let's see here. Link lost. So he does not have a wire link. And these guys are right next to him with the maneuver control on. It says they're laying the wire link, but they're clearly not. Link established here. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Link established here as well. Link established. Interesting. Okay. Now, what is this that I'm seeing over here? Is it an AT gun? Yep. Or AT rifle. I always get those mixed up. Anyway. So here's the spotter. And here's our first contact, actually. Some kind of MG. Anyway. We should be able to do something like this. That's something he can see. And let's grab our next mortar spotter. And maybe something like this. Can do that. And here, where's our next one? That's you. That is you, Brody. And maybe something like this. Not executed, obviously. Too low on command points. We're gonna have to get those back. Nice artillery fire here. Anyway, let's try this again. Something like that. Okay, and now they're working on getting that going. And these Soviets have been forced to move about a little bit. Look at this man carrying our MG34. He's been... And this one is carrying an MP40. They've been robbing us. We're capturing our weapons at least. Seems like the MG34 gunner is firing towards our troops here. And now our own machine guns are opening up towards Farmstead Nameless. And here we can see. So, we can see the commander here. He's worked up his bar. And he is transmitting via wire towards here. And they are firing now with smoke shells. You can see these black lines here going this way. So yeah, that is pretty cool. There, you are getting on with it. Cool. And easier for it. And yeah, they're getting on with it. So smokes should be impacting any second now, which means that we can get our platoons in order. So just quickly, without making a big fuss or anything, let's get these platoons set up like so. Towards the objective. Company commander just behind them. Behind that, we can have a platoon in reserve as such. And these tanks can move up somewhere, somewhere here. And they don't need to be quick or anything. Cool. Now our attacking platoon should be on the way. Mortars are getting, you can see black, what do you call it? Black lines means our smoke grenades are coming. You can see they're firing. Check these guys out here. See how many smoke grenades they do have, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we're firing all smokes. Cool. So these guys are gonna run out of ammo now any second. And here we can see our smoke barrages impacting. Just as this final fire mission is being prepared here. And then as we advance onto Farmstead Nameless, 12 incendiary rounds here and 12 HE rounds will strike towards there. We should have softened them up quite a bit here. Frontline platoons are getting into formation. Yeah, we can see this platoon here was cooked basically. I'm curious though, did you even move out? No, you didn't. This MG that I wanted to move out just ignored my orders. Cool. Good luck following that order then. There they go, packing up. Cool. Okay. So, see now. Oh my god, these guys are exhausted. Huh. That might actually foil this whole thing a little bit. Because they're not even moving lightly here. They're completely exhausted. God dang. Hold. 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 Huh, I wonder why. Oh well. I don't think they will be able to get any better than being tired here. Okay. Well. Let's do this then. Hofrichter. You will have to set up over here. Sights. You will have to take position here. Okay. And I guess Piper and Hofrichter platoons will be the ones that advance here. I'm guessing. Frick, that actually kind of sucks. These guys can be told to open fire if they want to. And let's tell these mortars to stop using smoke grenades, because now the... Okay, yeah. We can actually fire some regular grenades, I guess. Now we can see they turn into orange. They're gonna fire with their regular grenades. Which should give us some nice impacts out here. Yeah, but we can tell them to stop firing. Their services are not needed right now. Huh. So that really foiled our plans though. With these units being so tired, they will be ineffective in combat as a result. So we'll have to make do with way fewer men, I think, than originally planned. Now this MG, I think, is set up quite nicely here. Fire through like a keyhole, almost, as you call it. Cool. Anyhow, you guys should stop this fire. Cool. However, we can see here that Farmstead Nameless has been set on fire, and we can actually see Soviets running here, set on fire. That is a brutal, brutal sight, but it is something we want to see in this case. Sadly for these guys, but that is a... Sorry guys, I'm always looking for these thumbnails. Yeah, I don't know. That might be too brutal to use as a thumbnail. I don't know. Yeah, this should set these buildings quite nicely on fire here. What we want. Cool. Okay. Hofrichter is getting nicely into position and can... Their tanks should be told to... Okay, for some reason, let's halt them. Okay, there they go. Cool. So let's get these tanks into position first of all. And pipe up platoon. Cool. Good, good, good. Seems like we have an enemy machine gunner over there. So let's silence him with some mortars. If we can. So they're probably gonna get going with that. They're working out their percentages. So these guys will have to act maybe as a base of fire, these tired units. Okay, cool. Hagel, the company commander, should definitely set up behind his platoon like so. Now we should see, yeah, first mortars are getting a lock. So here we can see this machine gunner. He's moving away now. So we could just as well cancel those mortars or tell them to hold fire for now. So there we go. We can see our impacts maybe, but they're way off now. Those were nice impacts as well. If he had stayed there, he'd probably be in a world of pain. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's tell Hofrichter to move with maneuver across the field here. And the tanks should go with them. There we go. And at the same time, we can tell Piper to do the same from this direction. Cool. And Auricht set up, or actually Weidel set up here. Even though they're tired, they can maybe act as a base of fire. I don't know. They should not be on act with or be concealed, though. That's probably what made them super tired. yeah, just fire off as you want to. There you go. You can see these impacts are quite close to this machine gunner, however, not killing. And one thing to keep an eye out is the ammunition supply on these mortars. I mean, they run out of ammo really quickly if you aren't careful with what you're doing. It's better to use them in like, how can you say it? Fuck, these guys are just taking the road, huh? I wouldn't want that. I just want you guys to push out into the tile field. Oh my god. That dude got lit up. You could see all the targeting vectors. And this guy should probably be getting the same treatment. Oh my gosh. A patrol was spotted and they're swiftly being dealt with. Okay. Some targets out here in the field can be spotted. Okay. MG men are being spotted out here. So let's target them with our mortars. You can hear them firing even. So hopefully we can get a good... Yeah, they're working up their percentages. Cool. God dang it. Wolfwichter is getting into contact with an enemy squad here. However, this enemy squad is quite exposed. However, they take a casualty. It is what it is. Now, mortars are firing. Good. Tell them to maybe hold their fire for now. There we go. This tank could probably push out here and help out with what little ammo he has got left. It's not a lot. But by being there, you know, you can scare the enemy. That is a real thing in real life. There's a, you know, in Swedish we call it pansarskräck, which is, you know, you can hear the similarity to the... And this guy, he wandered out of formation quite too much. A little bit too much. Alright, should go out here and set up as a block towards the left. Thoughts could move out without formation and set up as a block towards the right then, I guess. That should be sufficient. Wolfrichter is getting kinda contacted here on the left. This is interesting, by the way. This P60 light tank has been turned over and is standing up. I don't know. Don't know what to say about that. let's move up with Vidal platoon with maneuvers and such. Even though they're tired, they can probably move a couple of meters here, hopefully. Here we can see Auwicht is moving in nicely. MGs here on the flank, although low on ammo, are working as well. They're actually quite set up over here. Interesting. Now we have some mortars coming in here. Spotter finally got going and figured it out, but I don't want them to fire, so let's tell them to hold fire. This is the same MG34 guy. Yeah, look at him. He's being hunted by these mortars. Cool. Let's get pipe platoon moving a little bit here as well. Go. Hofrichter is getting casualtied, or like getting engaged on the way to their objective, which is really bad, you know. Getting flanking fire from the enemy here. I would hope that these units could do something about it, but it seems like they're in a little bit of a bad spot. And of course, all of these Soviet bodies around the trench does not make it any better. I bet we could find some German ones too if you look carefully, but yeah. So grim. And as I've said before, look at him. He's carrying a Mosin Nagant. We saw that, I think, a little bit before, which makes him look very similar to a Finnish soldier almost in World War II. Or, hold on, yeah, that is a Mosin Nagant. It has to be. What is this? Yeah, this should be. It looks like a Mosin Nagant, although hard to tell sometimes when it's kind of low poly. That is clearly a Mause. But this one looks almost a bit worse modeled. Huh. Look at this. I don't know, guys. Tell me in the comments what you think. Doesn't this Mause look like a bit like better modeled than the Mosin Nagant here? This one looks very simple. Should easily be able to tell though if we grab him like this. Check the, yeah, Mosin rifle. So he is indeed carrying a Mosin Nagant, which also was what the Finnish soldiers used during World War II, and they had the German Stahlhelms. A lot of them, at least, did have that. So a lot of them looked just like that. Pipe is getting on with the objective a bit better though, nearly on to Farmstead Nameless here. So I would like for Hofrichter to actually refocus a bit here, and it would be nice if they could break contact here. Let's try to tell them to do a reversal, which in my opinion generally they try to throw smoke grenades as they move back. Yeah, he got domed though in that process, but yeah, they're throwing a bit of a smoke grenades and they're trying to run back for a short bit here. So that is one way you can try to break contact in this game. Yeah, let's roll this tank up a little bit here. He does not need to go fast, he just needs to go. And let's get this tank going here on the left as flank defense as well. Together with Auwicht platoon, which is, you know, these guys are getting stuck due to being tired, which is, you know, not ideal, but anyway, let's get Hofrichter under our control and try to tell them to gather up. Let's have to move quickly here. Gather up behind Vidal, or whatever his name was called. What is your name? Vidal platoon here. As that happens, we can use Pipe for a quick dash here with smoke, I think, into the trench in front of us here. And when they're done with that, they could just as well set up defense there. Yeah, scare this Russian off with some MG bursts. Take the trench. So Hofrichter is trying to get along with it. This squad though is not. But the rest of them are quite nicely here. Cool. Let's tell them to move up onto objective here. That squad, I don't know. They're gonna be there, I guess. Piper, it seems, is getting on with the mission and taking the trench quite nicely. I think they domed the Russian as they were getting into the trench. Yeah, we're finding contacts here, but and that MG-34 gunner, man. However, we have taken the trench and can return fire, and you can see they're all the way back here, huh? Interesting. Now this tank should really help out here on the left. It's like what do you call it? Like targeting practice. There we go. One of the squads in Piper platoon is also getting tired here though, which is not so nice to see. So let's tell them to try to take positions as they want to, I guess. Yeah, this MG-34 gunner here on the left, he is proving to be a problem. Maybe they can get him as he runs. Here's a whole squad. I'll hold up. So let's push the tank through. Piper is obviously taking casualties as all of this is going down. Hofrichter though, moving along nicely, except for this one squad that is stuck. Or somehow, or whatever you want to say. Let's tell Vidal platoon to push up here as well, although tired. So let's just keep that in mind. Tank is not getting all of the information it needs to target these dudes, so let's send it up a little bit further. Our rift is holding quite nice. Cool. Let's see, is something wrong with this tank that it can't fire? Because it should be able to at least get a few rounds off here. Oh. We need to push it up even more, even more, even more. That is all, of course, risky, you know, sending it this close to enemy infantry. But, yeah, here it goes, starting to target enemies with this, actual MG. That should alleviate some pressure from the infantry. Here, Hofrichter is getting on with it. Let's see if we can't use them in a quick way here to flank the enemy and take Farmstead Nameless, which I'm suspecting should be a bit dead from the incendiary barrage. Let's hope so, at least. Captives taken in here. Okay, cool. Good. See how this tank is doing. Not good on ammo. Push it up, push it up. Piper platoon is being pinned down here in the trench, but Hofrichter, well, the majority of Hofrichter is moving on quite nicely. Enemy artillery fire here. Targeting Piper platoon. Not good. Tell these guys to get low. Take cover if they can. And Vidal platoon can just as well hold position here. Hofrichter should cancel right here, because we're entering an enemy trench now, throwing our grenades. is insanity. I mean, yeah, key point taken, good. So I don't think friendly fire is modeled for hand grenades, so that's why you can see them throw a grenade and then run into the trench, which is really, it's stupid, but it is what it is. But now we're getting some nice flanking action here towards the enemies, and we also have Soviets that have surrendered to us. That is cool. Good. Piper should now, not quickly or anything, but they could actually try moving out all the way here with cancel order. So I don't know how that will look, but my idea is I want them to go throughout the trench system, actually without cancel order, in the trench. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hansa 2 here is feasting. He's nearly running out of ammo, but he's doing his job. Pipe managed to take Farmstead nameless here without any casualties, which is really nice work. Look at this dude firing with freaking what's it called? Not the Luger. What is it? Hey, maybe it is a Luger. I can never keep track of the. No, let's see here. P38. Yeah, the one with the mag in, or the one with the mag in the actual handle, or whatever you want to call it. They also had a like World War One-ish. Oh, and they took their first casualty. Here is the second line. So oh, Piper were told to hold their heads down. So this is not looking good. Ooh, pain. Let's cancel that order and let's just tell them to push up here. Come on. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Just now, our Hofwichter platoon got a bit screwed over here. I wish we could use Vidal platoon a bit better here, but they're freaking exhausted, or whatever you want to say. So now we have more enemies here downwards. Two Verilovka is what this, or like this point is called. Should be able to move Auricht. Maybe a bit. I don't know. Let's send the company commander up here to Farmstead nameless. Yeah, I guess just quickly move here and take up position. This is not good. This is not good. You need to set up with Vidal platoon. Or at least something like this towards Verilovka. Pipe is now getting onto objective, or well, moving where I want them to. Taking train over here. However, suffering casualties as they go. In. The enemy artillery is striking here as well in the open ground now, a little too late. And here we can actually see them crossing at one of the points where they're actually able to touch the riverbed. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, there are several points during the summer, or in the summer, in like the Dawn can be crossed like this in the summer at several points. That is accurate. This squad needs to get up here. Together with the rest of Hofskifte. They need to get up here. This squad here got totally annihilated, so yeah, let's get them there. Viper platoon is getting all but eradicated here as well. Really low on men. Here's a true 1v1 on the Eastern Front. But this dude is moving nicely on the trench here. Oh, but he's getting naded, isn't he? Yep. Oof, that's gonna hurt. Yeah. It did. Idle platoon is, you know, tired and stuff. Getting on with it. Avricht could probably move a bit along like this. And Stoltz, I have to send you guys in, although tired, without maneuver. You guys are gonna not quickly either, but have to set up defense towards here or something. Look at this guy. Hell, what fuck did you guys see that? What the hell is your deal, man? All glossy and shit. I don't even want to talk about what I saw, man. Looks like a destroyed MG pillbox or something. If we compare it to this one, it looks like one of these, but crumpled up, you know. No way. Love platoon. I think this is the time, man. Let's just get them on a line out here or something and see what's going on over there. Pista, you can also be... You should also move up. You should just move in with your boys, you know. Help them out here. Off with the pain. Only pain remains for that platoon. Although the squad leader could afford to take up a bit of a more central role here at the front. Something like over here. And Vidal, you guys should definitely set up a defense if possible along, actually, along here would be ideal. So let's see if they can make that happen, although tired. I don't know what happened to Stotz's platoon here. Let's try and reissue that order, or let's just tell them to get on a line towards here, I guess. Hype is cooked, unfortunately. And Vidal is getting the worst of a Russian fire mission. If they were just a bit quicker, they could get into the cover. But, yeah, they're extremely tired, huh? Key point captured. Farmstead nameless. What the hell? Hell no. Got to get it back. I'll push out there. Push out there, guys. So we have a lot of units, but we're taking a lot of casualties. I think a lot of it is due to, like, just these attacking platoons not being in the shape that I need them to be, honestly. I don't know why they are counted as tired here. I mean, I can understand it from, like, if I'm just thinking about it, that they've been in hard action and so on, but I think it's mostly due to them being forced a bit across the map, just by happenstance of the operational map mode, and that resulted in this. Good work. Oh. Looks like this trench is getting, I mean, it's contested. Let's leave it at that. I mean, it's still under Soviet control, obviously, but... I think Vidal is too tired to even take up positions at this point. Alricht is too tired to barely, like, move as a unit cohesively here. Which means we're very, we're vulnerable to being targeted by the enemy's artillery, as we're quite slow in our movement. We're quite sluggish, you know. And just look at this, for example. I don't know why these guys aren't moving out, though. Oh, they're stuck. I don't fucking know. Game is broken, man. At least retook Farmstead nameless. And here some freaky business is going on in these bushes. I don't even want to speculate what those guys are doing. Oh, man. We need to actually get into position here to, like, be able to counter the Soviets if they, because they're gonna want to take Farmstead nameless back. They're not just gonna let us have it, you know. So these boys here in Vidal platoon, they just need to, like, get into cover. That's all I want from them, you know. And Stott's platoon is all bugged out. Which, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Question here is if we can get Pipe into the fighting position up ahead. Or if that's a bad idea. Let's do this with maneuver. Try to just move up here. Because look, here the Soviets come. They want to retake Farmstead nameless. They aren't just gonna, as I said, they're just not gonna let us, you know, take this stuff. They're actually gonna wanna retake it, I think. And then we need to be prepared. Company commander is actually getting into it nicely, though. Like, shout out to him, you know. There are 2 Soviets held up in this building. We can't see them, but they're in there, trust me. I don't know what to do about Stott's platoon, though. Look at this stuff. I don't know what I did wrong. I told them, just guys, you guys get up here and take cover here in the trenches. They were like, ah, we're gonna bug out, bro. We're gonna be tweaking. It's like, okay, whatever, man. Man, if this MG could actually, you know, get accurate fire on there, that would be awesome. Let's hold them right here and tell them, or they can do whatever they want to do, you know. They can just deal with this on their own. I need Farmstead nameless. I ain't gonna let it go. Here it seems like the Soviets exited their building with a massive, like, oh yeah, they got cut down. They had a massive, like, fire intensity leaving the building though, which is like... See if we can get Åskiftet out to maybe perform some kind of movement here. I don't know. Maybe not. Laub is now moving into position here to assist Piper, which is cool, I guess. What the hell? The Soviet MG gunner all the way back there. No man's land, or whatever you want to call it. Well, whatever. One of my finest platoons here. Vidal is just getting cut down. Unable to perform their combat duties due to being so tired. Oh well. That is for the next episode to figure out though. Will we be able to hold on to Farmstead nameless? Or will we yet again lose it? Doesn't seem like the Soviets have anything more than just infantry to throw at us, which is good, but we basically only have infantry to hold the hill with, so, you know, it's gonna be down to the last man here, and I'm not too hopeful looking at the state of these platoons which I wanted to use in the attack. Let's leave it at that, but yeah, that is for the future to decide. I hope everyone enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.